going to have something delicious in our bellies in no time as well. As you can see, we have made our way over to the kitchen. And I just would like to say there's something very comforting about melted butter and sort of toasted bread and oozing cheese that just really makes you salivate, doesn't it? Well, our next guest is here, and he is taking the grilled cheese to a whole new level. Please welcome celebrity chef and founder of the famous Koji truck here in Los Angeles, Choi. Welcome, Roy.
Hey,
I'm so excited to have you here. Joining Cameron at the counter are Allie and Maria. And I mean, I've never seen anyone eat a grilled cheese with a fork and a knife.
They
but
put
get in
it
there,
out.
honey.
I apologize if you heard the sound of like knife cutting through grilled cheese as you were trying to talk there. Maria was going a
But
little
it's
quickly.
so crunchy. It like made such a crunch when she got
Just
into
pick
it.
it up and eat it, girl.
I have
Can't do
no
that.
self-control.
Here we go.
So grilled cheese, like I said, is nostalgic, and everybody has a place in their
Everyone's
heart
seen
for it, whether you don't eat a lot of cheese these days or not. But as a kid, you do remember eating that. Your grilled cheese is up here versus the grilled cheeses here. What is it about your grilled cheese that makes it extra special?
I mean, this is a really simple recipe. Obviously, there's only 4 things here, but sometimes recipes are not about the amount of ingredients or the complexity of how many steps there are, but it's about the simple things and doing them right.
That's
And
right.
that's the difference.
Sometimes, or you'll tell me as a chef, many times it's more difficult to make something simple delicious because you
is.
can't hide behind anything.
Definitely. And definitely, so this showcases that whether you're making a milkshake, a grilled cheese, even a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, even a butter pasta, there's a difference between if you're just half doing it versus putting all your attention into it.
Roy, what you do is an art across the board. So let's start. First, we start with some olive
A
oil.
little bit of oil.
So do we need a griddle pan? Can we do this on a
You can do
cast?
this on the stovetop, on the
Okay.
pan. You just gotta, again, keep the heat really controllable.
Okay, and you want it
but
really
you guys
high?
went all out with this one.
We
This
did
is
it for
crazy.
you. We need
Yeah,
it.
this is crazy.
You want it really, really high?
No, you want it like 300 degrees.
Okay.
Or like low, medium heat.
Okay.
And then so what we're gonna do is we're gonna butter the bread.
And you're using sourdough bread, right?
Yeah.
Why sourdough?
Flavor. All about flavor. Everything's about flavor.
So white bread, no?
You can do whatever you want. You know, I'm not gonna judge. But but
Listen, if you choose sourdough,
I
going
choose
with
This is it,
sourdough,
yeah.
right?
yeah, sometimes there's no question. It's just this is what it is.
And
know?
you're using unsalted butter.
Yes.
How come?
Because the cheese has salt already in it.
Okay. All right, so we put these down,
Yeah.
You
butter
do not
side down.
skimp on that cheese, by the way. This thing is just
Yeah.
oozing with cheese.
Never skimp on the cheese or the butter. So
So you're only buttering one side.
only one side. And we're gonna
Okay.
layer the cheese inside of here.
So Cameron and his family do something special, and I'd love him to share that with you.
Okay.
Well, you know, when you spend
Cameron
as much
schooled
time in
me.
the kitchen as I have, no, really, with grilled cheese, what we do is we butter both sides. So we start, when we toast the one side down, we let that get nice and golden toasty. Then we flip it up and then start toasting the other side. And when we flip it up, then we add the cheese in there, and then we combine it. So you've got like the crunch on both sides of the bread. It's like so good.
Roy Choi's mind is blown.
I listen. I mean, that's a good.
I should have never went to culinary school. That was everything about
Well,
cooking that I needed to know.
would like to take credit for it, but really, I just follow my wife's instructions.
So we are using 4 different types of cheeses. Which ones are those?
We're using white cheddar. That's yellow.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's good. White cheddar, yellow cheddar, gruyere,
Okay.
and parmesan.
And why the 4 different ones?
Just to create some, again, complexity in your bite, different melt times, so that way when you pull the cheese apart, it has some structure and you can create that like kind of happy.
Oh, I
That's
just
the
did
thing.
that. I
Right.
just did that.
While
Would
we're
you
waiting
change
for
it
that,
up at all and do because we're using the
so
two cheddars?
so this you could change for American. For the white cheddar, you could do mozzarella. For the gruyere, you could do Swiss, and for the parmesan, you could do pecorino, or you could just do all American cheese, whatever you want.
Oh man, it's so good.
So
Listen, while we're letting that cheese melt, I want to ask about the chef show,
Sure.
which is really taken off. It's a big deal. For those that may not know about it, what's the premise?
All right, it just came out on Netflix, and really what it is it's kind of like a semi-sequel to the movie Chef, which was made by John
Oh, that's right.
Favreau. Yeah. And so we became the best of friends over filming that movie, and we just kept searching for ideas of how do we continue to hang out with each other. That was really and it took us a while to figure out, like we would come up with all kinds of ideas, like should we take a road trip? Should we build a restaurant? Should we do this? Should we come up with that? Should we go make a TV show? And finally the TV show hit. So it's really John and I cooking together and bringing friends on, just like this, bringing friends on set. And but he has some amazing friends.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know Gwyneth Paltrow. Who else
Yeah,
is
yeah.
on the show?
Well, we have the Avengers. I cooked for Spider-Man and Iron
my
Man.
gosh.
And Pepper Potts, yep, and Happy Hogan. So I was surrounded by the Avengers. We also have Bill Burr, the comedian, on there.
great.
We have some local chefs here in Los Angeles, Jazz from Chitlada and Evan Kleiman from Good Food. We also have Robert Rodriguez. That was my favorite
Oh,
one.
I love Robert
Yeah, that
Rodriguez.
was a little bit of inside baseball and kind of like nerdy, but that was my favorite because you had two independent filmmakers that kind of started the movement of independent films, and I'm in the middle listening to them kind of share knowledge.
Oh
That
my
was amazing.
gosh, it must be a pinch me moment for you. But
Yeah.
it's the same because you're, as far as chefs go, you're like the rock star of chefs. So for them, they're
Maybe
probably
rap
like,
star.
all right, I'll go with rap star instead. So are we gonna? Do we keep them open
we're-
face or
yeah.
put them together?
We're gonna kind of try to get it to melt. Oh, look at that.
It's a
that
very
one ready to
special
go?
golden brown.
Not yet, but
Not
we're
yet.
gonna turn these over like this.
And do you ever do this and mash them down or no?
Go ahead and you
Oh,
can mash
really?
that one, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so while we're waiting for that too, I got time for another question, I think, right? Because
Okay.
we're just waiting for the cheese to melt a little bit. I want to ask you about your taco truck, Koji,
So good.
which really kind of launched it all. Thinking back, what is it, 10 years now?
Yeah, just
10 years now. Did you ever think that it would become what it became and launch the career in a sense that it has?
I mean, who would have thought that would have happened? We were a perfect storm. So we happened in, Kogi came on the scene in 2008 when the economy crashed.
Yes.
And then the iPhone just came out, Twitter just came out, and then we had these tacos. We didn't predict that it would change, I guess, a certain part of the world. But when I started serving the food on the streets, we started at midnight every night. And when I started serving it, I could feel like something going on.
Wow.
Like I didn't know what it was, but there was something going
special.
on. Yeah, because there was 2,000 people on the street getting out of their
Wow.
cars, you know. So
I'll
was
tell
like-
you what
it was like flash mobs.
It was a short rib taco.
That's what it was.
The best taco I've ever eaten in my life.
It's not even normal.
So we add a little more butter on the edges.
Would you ever, you know, Cameron does where they toast both sides. I do something in my family where I use mayonnaise on the bread.
Ooh, that's good. A lot of people do that because it creates a caramelization.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Good. Oh,
Do you mix that with the butter or only mayonnaise?
just the mayonnaise.
It's the mayonnaise.
So no butter.
Nope, just the mayonnaise. Oh, it's
right,
so
go try
good.
that
Oh my
out.
gosh.
But you see how, like, when you get in there, this is really cooking. Like, I know it's kind of funny, but like, this is really what cooking's about right here. These moments, like waiting, seeing if everything's right.
Good things come to those who wait.
This is cool. Well,
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
it's worth
All
the
right.
wait.
So
I
for
can
the
tell
sake
you
of
that.
TV, this is
For the
not
sake of TV, there
all
you
the
go.
way there,
Roy.
but we'll do our best.
How much longer do you think you would have left it on there? A couple, a couple minutes, maybe?
Yeah, because you see the cheese is not completely
That's
melted
okay,
yet, but
though, Deb,
this
right?
is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Oh,
But,
delicious.
but I'll give you a bite. It's still be
So
delicious.
Yeah, have a little
Bite,
bite,
just
Deb.
a
Have a
bite.
little taste.
So
Oh, I
good.
see it.
Yeah, and as you
Oh,
do,
Roy.
I will tell everybody to find this recipe at
Thank
hallmarkchannel.com. Yeah, you're not going to find any trouble
Thank you.
finding people to take
Oh my gosh.